everyone. This is Madhuri from NSN and greetings on the occasion of Women's Day. And today we are celebrating Women's Day with a special guest who's representing a company that employs many women in a niche manufacturing sector. Isn't that something which is really inspiring and encouraging for more women to get into the manufacturing sector? So before we go ahead and get into the conversation, let me introduce you to Miss Anjali Byce, who's the Group CHRO of Sterlite Technologies. This year's theme for Women's Day is Digit All, about innovation and technology for gender equality. So welcome to this talk, Ms. Anjali. As I just told you, the theme is so interesting, and I think we are striking a good conversation today on this theme. So let me get started by asking you about how it all started at Sterlite, and why did you decide to have this niche set of women doing a very important role in the manufacturing process of the cables, which actually help us get data to our homes and offices and everywhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much, Madhuri. And as we start out, a very, very warm greeting to everyone on Women's Day. I think it's a wonderful occasion to celebrate women, and I think it's also an important day to talk about equality. Diversity, yes, but equality and inclusion, exactly what really makes strong organizations, strong societies, and strong communities. So, coming to your question, maybe I'll step back for a second. If you look at STL, a simple way to understand STL, it's sand to broadband. So, a kind of a company. So, sand converts glass, glass to fiber, fiber to cable, and all of the optical interconnect that connects the various cables. And that part, Madhuri, is all of our manufacturing side of the business. But in addition to that, we also do ducting, trenching, laying out of cables, and that is more like an EPC or infrastructure kind of a business. So we have a projects kind of a business as well. And then sand to broadband or digital, and that's really all of our software digital side of the business, which is looking at cloud, data, AI, the whole space of the stack, and then across that, different industry verticals. So when you look at this entire space, yes, I'm very happy to talk about the representation of women across different sections, because all of this is technology, all of this is tech, all of this is a mix of manufacturing projects as well as digital. So coming specifically to your question on the manufacturing side, and how we started this journey of really looking at women. I think it's a no-brainer. One is the business case is very clear. The more diverse the population working together, the more diverse the ways of thinking, the more diverse the ways of problem solving, the more innovative you are, and therefore you create really good products. But that's one lens. I think another lens or another way to really look at it is to say that you look at the communities we work in, or the society we operate in. 50% are men, 50% are women. Imagine working in an organization where you don't have a fair representation of your customer base. So 50% are women. I mean, 50% are consumers. And how can you have an organization running where 50% of your consumer base's approach and thought is not included? So I think the business case is really, really clear in terms of why we need to have this good mix. But then coming to really manufacturing, or I think the spirit of your question is more erstwhile male dominated kind of profiles.
Yes.
And I think the way to look at this here is really to say, really move away from this whole metric of representation to this metric of value add. And not get so focused on what can people not do versus how to make it happen. Why is it not possible to how to make it happen? And we really move towards a way of how to make it happen. And so the journey started some time ago. We actually hired a very, very vibrant group of young women diploma engineers, and they actually went on to work in an entire in our cables plant. One section is called coloring, and it's a very, very important part of the entire operation. So coloring and ribboning of the machines, it's a very, very critical part. So that was a part where this entire cohort of women came in. They joined in as machine operators, young, vibrant 20, 24-year-olds, But then as we move forward, you see all of them over these past couple of years have gone on to become shift leaders, they've gone on to become supervisors of the entire coloring and ribboning section. Extremely proud of the kind of work they do. They're not only in the core production area, but they also lead a maintenance department that is, really complex in-house installation of machines.
Hmm.
I think it's absolutely incredible. But that's one way of looking at it. And then the other is to say, and so what? I mean, the so what? I mean, it brings in such fantastic efficiencies in the plant. So all the curves are in the right place. Whether you're looking at operational efficiency, whether you're looking at scrap, whether you're looking at deliveries, you're looking at productivity of the entire group. All of it, all the curves are in the right direction, and I think that is a reflection of what it really means. That means that you're really playing on strengths of people, helping them perform at their very best potential. In fact, more recently, you asked about this group in the coloring part of the plant, but
Yeah.
we also had another group which is in the optical interconnect facility in Silvassa, and they have that's another group that has come in and looking at the entire optical interconnect plant. Almost 60 to 70% of the plant is women, and they have really ramped up the production output in a very very strong way. They recently had to give a delivery to one of our very very critical European customers, and you would understand this is a reflection of strong quality, consistency, good productivity, etc. And they had the shipment go out, and absolutely phenomenal feedback from the customer. So I
Yeah.
think these are examples of how this really works. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really fantastic to hear. And a very important point you made is irrespective of whether it is women or men, what value we deliver and how we complete the work with efficiency, with quality matters the most. So with that, I'm sure there is a entire HR process and policy which is supporting these women, right? So maybe it would be nice to learn from you about how your practices are really supporting these women and encouraging them and also helping them grow in their careers, because you already mentioned how some of them have taken up higher responsibilities and larger roles in the company.
No, absolutely, Madhuri. I think it's very important to have strong enablers in the whole process. And there, if you look at the entire employee life cycle, all the way from hiring to really grooming and developing progress, but also the enablers to help people to perform at their very best. I think it's important to make sure that the entire value chain is really robust. I can give you a couple of examples,
Yeah.
just to get the point out. So, for example, if you were to look at right at the beginning of the process, at STL, we really, really value diversity and the need to eliminate inadvertent, unconscious bias that might creep in into the selection process. So
Hmm.
we actually use, and technology is the big topic for today as well. We actually use an AI-enabled resume stacking tool, which looks at tools. It's artificial intelligence. It's an algorithm. It runs and it stack ranks people based on capability, and therefore or applicability on the for the particular job or the skills that are required, and therefore it completely eliminates inadvertent sourcing bias that might come in. So it starts all the way from bringing people into the organization by eliminating bias. But then if you get into the specificities of support, I think specifically for women, definitely in the workplace, they run on a 24 by 7 shift. I mean, that's, all shifts. And which means making sure that they are safe, they have the right kind of enablers around them, the right kind of policies that help them perform. Some really interesting things that we've done at STL, we have a flexi holiday scheme. So women are managing, some are in joint families, they are looking at different family sizes, they have caring that they need to do, they need to take leave at different points. So instead of going by this is the 10 days everybody has to take, no, we actually give them an option to pick up, and this is for men and women both, for employees at large. They can pick flexible holidays based on the need that they have. If you look at our insurance coverages, absolutely gold standard coverages, which really ensures that they have the right kind of enablement and support. They are also able to cover their parents, their in-laws, in some combination based within the parameters of the policy, which is again something that makes it very meaningful for them. If you then look at other kinds of policies, it could be in the space of, so lots of conversation in these last couple of years with the lockdown, etc., on different kinds of stressors or support or enablement that people might have. We launched this employee assistance program that provides a diverse set of opportunities. So somebody might be stressed because of financial counseling requirements. Somebody might be needing parental counseling. Somebody might be needing pure psychological therapy. Someone might need something else, legal counseling.
Mm.
So just a wide platform, very, very strong enablement where they're able to go in and seek support based on whatever is their specific requirement. So a lot of ability to do some of those things. So that's, one other kind of a support. And then the third, I think, is more an organizational lens. We make sure that whenever I look at, say, comp increases, we make sure that there is a fair representation of the spread of increases that are given. If you're looking at succession planning, that's a very, very critical process to say how many women are holding critical roles, but then equally how many women are there in the pipeline as successors for critical positions.
Yeah.
uh, so that's something that we as a process monitor, similarly for career growth, etc. So that's another kind of an enablement. And then there's a lot of things that we do on the development side.
Mm-hmm.
So there is very simple ways of, we have mapped everybody's skills, where you are on those skills, what you could be doing as potential next roles. So we're moving from a role-based to a skill-based organization, where every role has a skill. All of those skills are mapped for various levels of proficiency, and then people are actually being trained and groomed, etc. And I talked earlier about how the career growth of these women are therefore
Yeah.
progressing very well. So yeah.
Yeah, and you just mentioned about skilling, and we from NSN, as you may be aware, are completely dedicated to creating awareness about the importance of skilling and upskilling. So maybe
Yeah.
you can tell us a little more about how, being a part of the telecom sector, how are the skilling programs organized? Do you do something like an in-house training for these women after they join, or do you get them ready to be productive from day one, or what is the scenario like?
Yeah. Oh, that's an absolutely great question. Skilling is really front and center of development of any individual in any profession, and
Yeah.
more so in a telecom and tech kind of a sector where the technology is moving very rapidly, and if you need to stay ahead of the curve, you need to be sure you're aware of your skills, your proficiency level, and making it move forward. So we do a lot of things in this space, Madhuri. I mean, it's all the way from, so right now, one of the things we're doing is we have launched a foundational course in 5G,
Okay.
which we've opened up, and it's available for free for all women. We are going to sponsor 100,000 women to take on that course. And the purpose of that is primarily that technology is moving fast. How do you build an ecosystem that is inclusive for the kind of talent that is coming in into the ecosystem as well for next gen technology? So that's one. And the second is, as I was saying, we're moving from being a role based to a role plus skill based organization. And here, what we've done is we've taken a look at all unique roles. We've said, what are the skills that tie in behind these roles? We've mapped every individual holding those roles and those skills, and making sure that their skill and proficiency level is mapped. So that's something that makes us arrive at, where are they today and what they need to be doing going forward. So each of these capabilities enables us to chart out proficiency, but also next gen skills and also adjacency skills, which is equally important, because when people take on adjacent skills, they're able to expand their role and where they head out. So that's the second thing that we're doing in the space of skills. A third I can talk about is, really, we have something we call the Tech Academy. And what the Tech Academy does is for all of these skills, we are able to train people in house.
Okay.
We are able to train people in our customer base, in our partner ecosystem, but we also partner with the government and academia institutions to roll out courses for based in the space of technology. It's all the way from diploma courses in the space of cloud, AI, data, etc., and BTech courses that are in the computer or digital space. So all of these, arenas makes it possible. In addition to this, Madhuri, we also make it very simple for employees to get access to skill courses. It could be skill courses, it could be high-end courses, even with Ivy League colleges. The process is very simple. You go to our team, our learning and development team, get a voucher, and then you can go and log in into the course online, take it, and get certified. So I think what's important is availability of courses, but also making it simple and accessible to people to make sure that they are able to know where they are,
Yeah.
what distance they need to cover, and also access all of these courses. So all of these are available, and yes, huge focus on making people ready now, but also ready for the future. So if you look at our recent hiring from campus, that's a good example. We have about 45% of them that are women who joined in.
Okay.
And so right now, there's this huge focus on that entire batch to take them up that trajectory, and massive, at least the first 4 to 5, 6 months is pure skill based development in order to make them ready for customers and deployment. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And it is like, I think you have taken a 360 degrees approach to look into skilling holistically. Uh, yeah, so Miss Anjali, thanks so much for sharing so many details about Sterlite Technologies and the focus that you have for improving women's careers, and also the contribution you're making to the telecom industry by incorporating the latest technologies that you mentioned. So besides these points, would you want to share something else with our audience?
So I think this has been a wonderful conversation, Madhuri. Thank you so much for having me as a part of it. I think maybe my closing remarks would be to say that all women out there, go out and identify where your passion lies,
Yeah.
determine what is it that is a skill that would be required for you to excel in that, and go after it. There is nothing that is impossible. Go out, the opportunities are large. Determine what skill you need to pick up, identify the course, raise your hand, and I'm sure the whole world will conspire to come around and make it happen for you. So digital and tech is what is the next gen. So go out and pick up a skill and do it today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me over, Madhuri.
Thank you. Bye.